Yeah. You already know it's the Galactic One. L. We back cracking spells. Shout out to all the Galactic Guardians, 720 degrees. Shout out to the whole URO, everybody living in that universal right order. Shout out to the House of Consciousness, Connecticut chapter. This message being brought to you by Kingdom of Righteousness TV. The show is called Wake Up Sheeple. Y'all already know how I do. We about to jump right into the demonstration. I shade to all the great prophets, ancestors, aiders, messiahs, messengers who came before, making the platform available so we could be here today giving you the message. I shade. Jumping right into this healthy Saturnalian day, you know what I'm saying? Sabekian type energy, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna jump right into the demonstration, you know what I'm saying? Know how I do, I deal with the supreme mathematics, so we're gonna run off of that energy. And when you get the 8 plus the 1 from the 10, you know, because today's August 10th, basically, the date, you know what I'm saying? When you add that up, you know what I'm saying, the Gregorian calendar frequency, you're going to get the number 8. You know what I'm saying? 8 is build, destroy, and rebuild in supreme mathematics. So that's what we're going to do today on a mental health level. You know what I'm saying? Because today is health. You know what I'm saying? And so what I want to do is, the name of this demonstration is, you know what I'm saying, the Christian Kundalini aspect. The Christian Kundalini. So what I'm trying to do is break down the science for those that's into, you know, maybe Christianity or have the concepts of God and the devil and Christ and all of these different things, and what these things are really trying to interpret. Because like I said, these books were Masonically written, you know what I'm saying? So if you don't have a purest form, you won't even know what you're saying when you're saying it, because you haven't looked at it from an allegorical, decisive eye, from the many angles that it can be interpreted from, like astrological, you know what I'm saying, numerically, blah, blah, through different languages, whatever it is. So you have to be on point when it comes to reading, you know what I'm saying, which is very vital, that aspect, because they are spells, you know what I'm saying. Like I said, one of the biggest spells that we're under is the spelling of words. So, breaking down the number 8, as you can see in glyph form, the symbol of a number 8, because they're not just numbers, they're symbols. So the ideograph of a number 8 is build, destroy, rebuild, right? So that's what we're trying to do. As you can see, it's the infinity symbol, you know, a coiled serpent that's tied, attached to itself, they keep going around, right? So with the Kundalini aspect, Kundalinis, we know, has to be a spiraling, coiling serpent. That's what they call Kundalini, actually. That's what Kundalini means overall, right? Kundalini means a coiled serpent. So when we talking about Christ or a Christian would be, the root word of it would be Christ. Christ comes from the Egyptian word kares, which means spirit rising. So what I like to do is always break it down from linguistical aspects, because through language, because people don't understand the meaning of words in different languages. You know what I'm saying? So we can talk Kemetic or Egyptian, you know what I'm saying, language for those that's in that's Sekhem Shinra. That's what we call chakras in the Sanskrit language, in the Hindu language. Hindu people are the ones who made up the Kundalini aspect. The Kundalini aspect of the science, of a psychological science within yourself, it's a mind thing, right? It's a mind thing. And so they describe the Kundalini aspect from their perspective, you know what I'm saying? But the Egyptians had their own, you know what I'm saying, Kundalini aspect. These things been around before religions even came around. So what I'm saying is the Christian whole book and the concept of that stuff and all of that, the Book of the Sun and all that stuff, is still talking about that Kundalini aspect. That's what it's basically talking about, and through an astrological and numerological aspect, if you can break it down that way. You know what I'm saying? So, when you think about Hindus are 8 ether beings. So like I said, today's math was number 8, and the Hindus are 8 ether beings. And what they were doing was practicing the art of spiritual consciousness and bliss, according to them. Now, according to them, they're saying they're practicing the art of spiritual consciousness and bliss. Now, a regular Christian would say that is the work of the devils, the stuff that they on, blah, blah, we don't follow that. But according to the Hinduism and all of that, and what they teach, Kundalini represents the divine feminine energy, or inner chi, right? Located at the base of the spine that raises up to the crown chakra, right? And now they call these chakras spinning wheels. that's symbolic to the 7 planets, because in ancient times, most of those ancient civilizations only realized that there were 7 planets, not knowing that there were more. But there's other teachings on chakras where other people debate of how many there are, or whatever, right? Let's guess as many stars there are, because it's billions of stars, so you must got billions of that shit lit up in you, if you think about it. So like nerve centers, right? These chakras are like nerve centers, right? And it's a psychological thing. It's nothing physical. The doctors and shit can't go in there and see a chakra, like, you know what I'm saying? So we're not even gonna play those games. They're saying this happens on a divine plane. So on a mental, divine, God-like plane, this is where these chakras lie. And what it is, what the thing about chakras is that you have to overcome challenges in your life in order to perfect your being or fulfill life's essence. So you can live through life's essence, right? So, or live life at its essence. You want to experience this life that we in at its essence. And so you go through challenges. Some of these chakras deal with, like, the physical plane may be foods. It may be, you know what I'm saying, just physical shit, mundane things that's around you. You know, the outside of yourself shit. You need people for this, and you need this to make you this, and all of that. That's the mundane aspect of it. That's all the physical shit. So you might have to break that chamber first to get through that first wheel, to go up to the second sacral, you know what I'm saying? ETC, and keep moving up and moving up. You feel what I'm saying? To the plane of emotions and all these other different planes, right? Or the chakras, should I say, right? Heart chakra, you might be dealing with love issues, relationship shit, you still attached, got earthly attachments, blah, blah, and all of that. So you got to deal with that, you know what I'm saying? And break all of that, you know what I'm saying? Shit like that, the plane of divine truth and all of that, etc. Going up the wheel, like, you know, communication and all of this shit, whatever it is. So, to the 7, to the crown. And so what I'm saying is, like I said, chakra means coil serpent, right? And these 7 chakras basically generate energy to the right side of the brain. Now remember, we on my other demo, we talked about Jerusalem being in the right side of the brain, blah, Isis, all of that. We talked about all that, being the pi matter and all of that, etc. on the right side of the brain, how it was a spiraling staircase, you know what I'm saying? It was made with no hands, you know what I'm saying, in silence, so that there was no noise, blah, when they was creating this temple. Temples was on the side of your brain, so that's the only temple in the world that's built with no hands when you really think about it. So let's be realistic. They was breaking down that from that aspect in codes, really, you know what I'm saying? And so further tapping in Revelations chapter 5, right? It talks about and I saw in the right hand of him who sat at the throne a book, right? It already tell you right there, the right hand is telling you the right hemisphere. That's another code, right? At the right hand of him, the throne, was a book. And on the back side, the back, your chakras will go along the spine. The spine is in the back, sealed with 7 seals. Sealed with 7 seals. 7 chakras. I'm not making this up. That's what's in the motherfucking Bible. You know what I'm saying? Remember, the Bible's a book of astrology. You know what I'm saying? The chakras got to do with the astrological planets and stuff, the things that govern us that we can't see, the laws of invisibility, these divine forces, basically, etc., right? And so what this is breaking down in Revelations, it goes further to say, Revelations 2, and I saw a strong angel say, who is worthy to open the book? Who could open up this book? Who could tap in and get to the right hemisphere of the brain and open the book? And be in that place of eternal bliss and reach that level, right? Who could do that? Then it says, Revelations 3 says, no man in heaven, no man in earth. No man in heaven, no man in earth was worthy to open the book. Nobody. Nobody could open this book. Who could open the book? Only the coil serpent. Only the serpent could open the book. Dig what I'm saying? So you would have to go through a real natural process of meditating. That's what this is about. It's about meditation, the art of listening, and stop talking so goddamn fucking much. And learn to listen more. You know what I'm saying? Because it's only there that you will find the master. They wasn't bullshitting when they said that. You dig? That's a real thing. So, you know, think about it, right? So, man, every time you see the word man, we talking about the mind, really. You know what I'm saying? So, understand that too from a linguistic aspect. You know what I'm saying? Man mean mind a lot in the Bible. They're talking about the mind. So, you know what I'm saying? When you think about it, we got 10% of our brain. That's what we supposed to be using. So there's 90% of our brain that we got access to that we don't even tap into. That's just, let's just keep it like that, plain and simple. But in a spiritual, astrological level, esoteric, metaphoric level, that's really saying you pay 10% tithes to God. Because you pay 10% tithes in church. So 10% of the brain that you use is that 10% of tithing, basically, that people would do in real life, physically. Because you only use 10% of your brain. God is allowing you, remember we talked about God being the L, the electricity that flows, that causes all the shit, thoughts, ideas, all that shit manifested through electricity. It won't happen. You don't have the magnetic electricity shit going on. So, we talked about that God aspect in you, the light that shined in the dark that man comprehended not. That's the fucking shit right there. That's that light, that electricity, that L in you. You feel what I'm saying? So, going further, right? That 10% of the brain that we use, there's 90% that God automatically collects. Like, y'all can't fuck with that part of the brain. Because he's saying, though, if you follow these kundalini instructions and go up the ladder the right way, and you ride the serpent and all that shit and do the motherfucking coil shit and hit every chakra and get to that eternal bliss on that crown chakra, then, you know what I'm saying, you could tap into that 90%, right? But like I said, and if Revelations 5:5 goes on to say, it shows that people got access to 90%. This is what I'm saying. It says, behold, the lion of the tribe of Judah, basically. The lion of the tribe of Judah is the one who can motherfucking open the book. That's what this shit is saying, but that's not saying that it's a specific dude. That's saying we have the ability to do it, following the shit, using that lion of the tribe in Judah. And you, motherfuckers, that's an aspect in you astrologically, because lion mean the Leo, really. The sun. That sun aspect in your right hemisphere of your fucking brain that you could tap into. You dig what I'm saying? But you would have to go through these levels, and these chakra levels is what they're saying. So when you think about it in Numbers 2:2, they talk about the tribes and how they were set up in geographical locales from north, east to west and south at certain points, right? So you would have the tribe of Dan in the north, which represented emotions. Then you would have the tribe of Reuben in the south, which represented the physical. Then you would have the tribe of Ephraim in the west, which represented the west. And then you had the tribe of Judah, the lion, coming from the east. You know what I'm saying? The point where the sun rises. So the sun rising, the sun rising, the sun rising, K.O.R, spirit rising, the serpent rising, kundalini, the Christ kundalini shit. You see what I'm saying? Like, let's not play the game. So we have to deal with divine truth. These are certain planes we got to master, right? And all of that. So when you think about it, going further, like I said, so Judah, the lion in the east, where spring equinox happens, and spring happens all the time, and new life brings forth. New grass grows, spiraling up from the ground. You dig what I'm saying? And all of that, everything's a spiraling. Life is a spiraling. Understand that. All atoms are whirling and spiraling. You know what I mean? So Adam got the kundalini energy in him. You dig what I'm saying? Adam itself, Adam and Eve, Adam. I'm giving you that from the atoms to atoms type aspect. So, you dig what I'm saying? But all this process has to be done naturally. You have to meditate until the doors start opening. Boom, you start going through different chambers, listening, perceiving until you get to a point where you have no thoughts. But in order to get to the no thoughts level of things, that is stages to consciousness, right? So you got the earth, I'm talking about in the brain. So you got the earth conscious, which is carnal. So you got all this shit going on in your head, you thinking this shit. Then you get to the truth, the heavens. You know what I'm saying? That state of the consciousness is water. You know what I'm saying? So you got the earth consciousness, which is your carnal consciousness. Then you got the water consciousness, which is the plane of truth, divine truth, the heavens. Heaven mean haven, which is a water, which we're talking about water. So you got to get through that divine truth aspect in order to get to air, which is, divine nirvana, where it's no thoughts, where you have no thoughts. When you can reach that stage to us where there's no thoughts, which many can. It's hard for a lot of people to get to that third aspect because that's, you know what I'm saying, tapping into that level. But the fourth would be the fire, and that will be dealing with the Holy Spirit. But getting back into the demo, you know what I'm saying? So motherfuckers not overstanding. I'm gonna take it out of Christianity for a minute, but even Buddha, which is, you know what I'm saying, same thing, because they're all teaching the same thing through codes. But even Buddha, right, says, and she is coiled 3.5 times. She lies coiled. 3.5 times she lies coiled. 3.5 times she lies coiled. What does he mean? 3.5 times she lies coiled. He's talking about that serpent. The serpent in you is lied coiled 3.5 times. Now, when you break that from a zodiac type of aspect, Zodak, Malachi Zodak, you know what I'm saying? Melchizedek, using the Zodiacs, using the mathematics of the astrology and all of that shit. 3 times 360 days get you 1,080. A half times 360 gets you 180. You add that up, you get 1,260. That number 1,260 is in your Bible, right? And I'm going to get that to you in a minute. But when you add 1 plus 2 plus 6, you get the number 9 numerically. So what we dealing with here, numerically, 9 means born in supreme mathematics, physically and through Allah's mathematics. 9 means born physically through, means born physically or through Allah's mathematics. You feel me? So, overstand knowledge, wisdom, equality, cipher, get you born physical. Get you born physically and through Allah's mathematics. That's just on a supreme mathematic level to throw that in there. But, so overstand 9 is the number of human consciousness. When you reach that state, that's when you know you there. When you understand what 9 ether is. When we talk about 9 ether and the number 9 and the divine feminine and blase blah and all that. Because remember, I just told y'all that the Hindus has this as a divine feminine aspect of things, kundalini energy. So the 9, remember, you know what I'm saying? This is to get to that right hemisphere, because the right side of the brain is feminine and the left side of the brain is masculine. But understand that, you know what I'm saying? The 8th plane, to get to that 9th plane, to reach that human consciousness after going through those 7 eternal, then reach that eternal bliss, you still got to go through the 8th plane to get to a level where all the memories that you experience haunt you. You know what I'm saying? All the memories, you know what I'm saying, of everything that you ever encountered, the shit that you didn't like, whatever, fuck, all that shit. You got to go through that plane in order to get to the 9th plane. You know what I'm saying? Which is the number of human consciousness. You dig what I'm saying? So remember that the number 8, you know, is an infinity number. And we dealing with building and destroying, rebuilding on the aspect of the Christian kundalini thing. How all that's a tie-in, really, because, you know what I'm saying, the spiral and staircase is the kundalini. When they talk about that in Kings 1, when they talk about the construction of the temple, the building of the mind. You dig what I'm saying? Remember, you got a workshop in your mind. There's tools in your mind, invisible tools. You know what I'm saying? You got to learn how to apply those tools. So, it's been another galactic glorious day of mental health. I hope that helps some people come to an understanding and made a kundalini or Christ aspect or K.O.R aspect rise in them, because it's all the same thing. And understand the numbers, man. You know what I'm saying? Get back into the mathematical number frequency of things, and may y'all mental health be well. Travel in harmony. Peace.